we're here to rumble today.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Oh, and they're off. Wow.
A jab thrown by Raj.
Oh, he whiffs. Spiro whiffs.
Here comes the right hook and he's down.
Oh, Spiro's down.
Is he gonna get up? Let's see.
He looks like he's out cold.
What's gonna happen?
Oh my gosh.
He's
back!
back!
Welcome back to the Sneaker Bench. I'm Spiro.
I'm Raj.
Today we're talking about the new Nike release, the Olympics sneaker news, the showcase they had in Paris. We're talking about the new sneakers. We're talking about the concept, prototype things that they showed off. All sorts of things. We're getting into that. But first, today, Raj, what do you have on feet?
I'm wearing the Air Max Plus in the OG purple voltage or whatever it's called colorway. They re-released these. I saw them in like a Foot Locker or something, and they messed them up. They messed up the gradient on this shoe in the new
Doesn't look
release.
good?
No, in the ones that came out like this year, the gradient looks all messed up. But I'm happy I have this pair.
Those
Good
are
shoe.
sweet.
What are you wearing?
I'm wearing the Nike Air Zoom Spiridon Caged 2s. Designed by Steven Smith. Love these. Steven Smith, really cool designer. We're a big fan. And he does support the Sneaker Bench. He follows us on Instagram. I don't know if you watch the YouTube videos, but we appreciate it, and that's been one of the coolest things that's happened to us while doing these videos.
It's been the coolest thing that's happened
by
to
far.
us. It's not even
But I'm not trying to be like a huge fanboy, but like, thank you. We appreciate the support. Pretty cool stuff. But anyways, we're talking about this news. We're talking about the Olympic news. First, thank you for watching. We always forget. Follow us on Instagram at the @sneakerbench_.
Yeah.
We post reels. We post news about the channel. We post when we're posting new videos.
Yep.
We post all sorts of things. So go check us out over there and like, subscribe, comment. We always love seeing people comment.
Yeah.
But first, we're talking about the news. I don't know where you want to dig in.
I would just say let's start with the regular collection, and then we can talk about all the innovation stuff later.
I'm most excited for the Pegasus Premium shoe.
Oh yeah.
It's really cool looking, and I always think obviously we both think, and in general, like the innovation is cool. We like seeing real sneakers that people can wear, and cool new things happening in running shoes. That especially Air Max, we love Air Maxes.
Yeah.
But in the Air Max DN, we do think is cool, and allegedly there is upgraded technology in those, but people aren't running in those. Those are not. A shoe you're active, going to be getting
lifestyle
active in.
shoe. It's a lifestyle shoe.
This Pegasus Premium, although maybe this is not like a performance running shoe, but I don't know. It seems like it is.
I think it's listed as a walking, for the people who are speed walking or something. I think I saw that somewhere.
It has React X, Zoom X, and the contoured Air Zoom unit, which the contoured Air Zoom unit, what does that mean? It's it's not flat. It's actually molded. It's
that's really cool.
That's really
awesome.
cool. I don't think that's ever been done before. So the fact that they're doing something new with the Air unit is something that I think is really, really cool. Yeah. And the fact that it's contoured, it looks like an Air Max sneaker Air Zoom sneaker that we've never really seen before.
That's true. And I also, is that the one that was designed partially by A.I.?
No, the A.I. ones were the ones that were the concept car looking ones.
Oh,
okay.
The
AI ones. But I think this one, the Pegasus Premium is really cool. It's scheduled for a spring 2025 release. Yeah. I think those are really cool. I'd love to have a pair and, maybe test them out running. Maybe not, I don't know. But that's the thing that I saw that caught my eye the most.
The ones that caught my eye the most were the breakdancing shoes. I thought those were so sick. I also think it's cool that they've never come out with a shoe specifically for breakdancing before, and that being in the Olympics, I think alone is cool. But it's just cool that they designed a sneaker specifically for that type of activity. That's awesome. That shoe, and it looks really cool. The design of it, I think aesthetically is really pleasing, and I don't know. I might have to get a pair of those and take them straight to the bar. I think that might
breakdancing. You got to get on the dance floor on the breakdancing shoes.
Yeah, based on how much I dance at a bar, I might have to get
best
those.
Bar sneaker, the breakdancing shoe.
Oh, there might be up there on the Mount Rushmore of bar sneakers.
We'll have to see. We'll have to test it out.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's cool though, breakdancing getting added to the Olympics. Nike makes a shoe for them. Yeah. It's pretty cool. You may have the argument and say, do we really need a breakdancing sneaker? Probably other sneakers could be used for it. Yeah, you could have that argument. From my perspective, I was like, okay, do we need the shoe? Maybe not, but everybody likes to be represented. They get a
Yeah.
new shoe. Like, I grew up playing lacrosse. There wasn't cleats, like, specifically for lacrosse for a little bit. There was a few to choose from. The Nike Huarache line was cool, but then New Balance started making cool stuff specifically for lacrosse. Could we probably have worn soccer or football cleats? Like, yeah. But it's cooler when it's like, this is specifically for the sport that you play.
Yeah.
And I think people appreciate that type of thing, whether or not a breakdancing sneaker. Like, you could probably breakdance in a basketball sneaker, but, you know.
I mean, I think that's probably what they did, but I'm interested to see, because, like, the official, like, tech specs I don't think have come out yet. So I'm interested to see what kind of performance changes they make in something like a breakdancing shoe versus, like, a running shoe or something like that. I'm sure, like, the traction has to be a certain pattern so that they don't slip or so that it's sticky enough on, like, the courts. I also I haven't seen, like, what that's actually going to look like. Like, what breakdancing is actually going to look like on the Olympics. Like, what's the floor going to be? So that's all, like, all those things I'm interested to see once those tech specs do come out.
We'll see.
Yeah, I think it's interesting.
Breakdancing. So back.
Yeah.
What else? We're talking about Nike GT Hustle 3, new high-performance basketball sneaker. Another sneaker that is a real sneaker people will be wearing. The GT Hustle 2 seems like it's like a huge sneaker in the NBA. People are wearing it like all the time.
I mean, it's like the best performing basketball shoe, I think, like, out in general. And I think that's really cool that they came out with a new version specifically, not specifically for the Olympics, but it'll be cool to see, like, basketball players wearing those on court.
Yeah, and I'm sure, like, I assume it'll be really great to play in. They've been doing a lot of cool, like, specific colorways with like, taking inspiration from older sneakers, like Tim Duncan sneakers and stuff like that. That was really cool. And then, like, Wimby's had his special colorways and whatnot. So it's cool that that's coming out with the Olympics. Obviously, new things always come out with the Olympics, but, you know, you expect it to happen, and it's cool when you see. And I think they're pretty cool looking, you know.
Yeah.
They've got, like, the big, like, embroidered swoosh kind of deal. They look pretty cool. And they've got, like, the 4-foot, like, visible zoom. Yeah, I like a big visible air, visible zoom. And we've moved away from that for a part of time where everything is in the midsole. But I like, let's show the zoom units. It's cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a simple shoe, but I really like it, and I think it's going to be a really good performing shoe, and honestly, that's what matters most when it comes to these kinds of basketball shoes and stuff like that.
It's a simple colorway, though, so, like, they can make it cooler.
Yeah, that's true. It is a simple colorway, and there are a lot of design elements where it's like they could make this, like, way cooler, like the
knit. The
knit, like, they could do a ton of stuff with the knit. We saw, like, even going back to the Ultra Boost, how much stuff they did with knit. Just that material.
The fly wire and stuff. You could do a lot of stuff with that. I think there's a lot of possibilities to make that shoe really cool.
Yeah, absolutely right.
Next up,
we're
gonna go for it.
I wanted to talk about the Air Max DN colorway that came out. I'm a huge fan of the Air Max DN. I think that the shoe is really cool, and I just think those, like, bubbles in the back look awesome. And they dropped a colorway for the Paris Olympics, and I just think I think that's really cool. I think it's one of the more wearable ones as well, because it's not the first, like, white base. It's definitely not the first white base DN, but I think it's the coolest white base DN.
Do you think you're going to have a DN by the end of 2024?
Maybe.
What are the odds? What does the line look like on Raj having an Air Max DN by the end of 2024?
I would say, like, plus 150. Like, it's definitely, like, in reasonable consideration.
Wow.
Like, I think plus 150 is a good odds.
Place your bets now, folks. I think the DNs are pretty cool. I don't know if people are going to be wearing them at the Olympics. Maybe that'll be like a podium type shoe where, but I don't know. We'll see. There could be cooler podium shoes. I think a DN is cooler, I think the DN is cool, but you know,
who knows?
I don't know.
We're speculating at this point. It's everything speculation right now.
But when you're talking about, like, the performance stuff, I think the Pegasus Premium is much cooler than the DN to me. But to each their own. I think the DN is cool, and I might have a pair in the future. But this performance stuff is the coolest to me.
Yeah.
The Alpha Fly 3 is the next shoe I want to. Can you look at the photo of that? I think those are so.
Yeah, these are sick.
Dope. Like,
so dope.
The whole midsole, like, with it comes out in the back.
Yeah.
And you can see the zoom unit and, like, that little pod.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I've never had one of these super shoes to run in, and they're like $300. They're expensive.
Yeah.
So you got to really make a conscious effort to be like, okay, I'm gonna get these running them. But They are so cool looking. I think I might try to get a pair of those if I can. See what it's like to run in them. Maybe try to train for another marathon later this year, and wear something like that for those.
Yeah.
For the marathon, but those are very cool. Just some details. Those are what was worn by Kelvin Kiptum, R.I.P. But when he broke the marathon record, the world record, he wore those. He actually ran right past our apartment when he broke the record at the Chicago Marathon in these shoes. So obviously they do a lot of testing with the shoes beforehand. The world record holder, Kelvin Kiptum, again R.I.P. He tragically passed away, but he was wearing these shoes. I'm sure they're amazing to wear. Yeah. They've got ZoomX carbon fiber plate and the A.I.R Zoom whatever pod. So they got a lot of cool tech in there. I would love to try those out, or any kind of super shoe like that. I think it'd just be fun to run in.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I think they look really cool. Do you think they look cool?
I mean, I think they look sick. I love the entire upper being knit. They have like that sock liner at the ankle. I think that looks cool rather than like a traditional just like cut off. And I think that huge Nike swoosh just looks awesome. I think that looks so sick on that shoe. I don't know. I'm just a huge fan of it. It looks very like futuristic kind of, and I'm a fan. And it's also cool when they like innovate, and they clearly have been doing so with the GT Hustle. That's a huge shoe for innovation, and so is this, as well as the Alpha Fly or Pegasus Premium. That's what it was. So it's cool. I mean, they're doing a lot of innovation with the Olypmics line, and I think that's awesome. I think
we need to see more, but like Nike's always doing cool stuff. And what they talked about on the Complex Sneakers show, podcast, whatever you want to call it, is they said like although Nike could be doing more for innovation, like other brands don't do stuff like this.
Yeah.
They don't generate excitement like a Nike does. So people can sit around all day and say, we'd like more innovation, which we would. But
of course, yeah.
Other brands don't do this. Which it'd be cool to see more brands kind of innovate and like have the same excitement in the future. Yeah. But I think that's gonna take like years and years of it's gonna take our generation to be older and us to have kids and like us to pass down like how we thought New Balance was so cool growing up and stuff like that, for that to happen in the future. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like Nike's kind of competing against its own history. So it's like it's not like in terms of innovation, it's like Nike's kind of at the top, and they're just they're competing with themselves, and people's expectations of Nike is based on previous Nike. It's not based on other brands' innovation, if that makes sense.
Yeah, which is kind of unfair, but because obviously things in general increase pretty rapidly, like exponentially at the beginning, and then it's harder to innovate past that. But things are happening, especially in sustainability and whatnot, so we'll see what happens. One thing I forgot to say about the Nike GT Hustle, I've got lots of notes on like Nike's website, and we can post links in the description so you guys can read a little bit more about these if you want. But it said you use less oxygen while playing in them. Maybe it's because they're lighter or because they're more responsive.
That's interesting.
But I thought that was an interesting tidbit because I don't know, that's just kind of a bold claim.
Yeah, that's really.
Like, how do you measure that? I don't know. But
yeah, I have
that's
no
that.
idea. No.
Now, if you're ready to go on to the real elephant in the room, the A.I.R program, the concept sneakers. These are not real sneakers. Some of our friends talked to us about them yesterday, and they were like, "What are these?" It's like, well, those aren't real shoes. Those are concepts that were designed by AI. How do I feel about them? I don't know. I mean, some of them literally, like, you couldn't even put your foot in it.
Yeah.
And some of them are cool. I think there's some design elements that you can kind of, like, maybe see where Nike may take inspiration from them in the future. But in general,
these are all just, like, concept shoes. So, like, none of these are probably going to release, like, in the form that we're seeing them right now.
I mean, none of them will.
Yeah.
I think the one cool thing to take away from it, or like at the least I took away from it, is, obviously Nike made these in AI or whatever, and is showing them. So there's parts of these shoes, elements that Nike wants to show off. I think a lot of the main design elements that were kind of congruent throughout were like weirder sized air bubbles, maybe bigger air bubbles, not like flat. Usually you see the flat units. There was a lot of big units, like the Wimbenyama shoe is really cool. It has an air unit that like is in the middle of the shoe, and then it comes up and like overlaps over the middle of the where your foot would be, which looks really cool.
Yeah.
Is that necessarily feasible to do? I don't know.
Probably
I don't
not.
know. But that same kind of design element where like it was just a huge air bubble that was not the same shape as a regular air bubble was kind of the main design element that I noticed, and most other people probably noticed throughout. But that was the only thing I thought of, is maybe that's what they'll try to do in the future. Maybe that's what's futuristic about them. But in terms of a lot of the other design elements, it's like a high heel or like some weird like thing on the back. Like the running spike one looked like it just had like some weird spring on the back that you couldn't wear it. Like it's not like, not only could it not be made, not only could it like would it not be comfortable, like your shoe or foot literally would not go inside of it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There's a few design elements you can take away from it, but in general, it's kind of just like, all right, I'm more interested in the Pegasus Premium. But
no, I mean, I'm definitely more interested in the stuff that's actually releasing than all this concept stuff. Also, I'm interested to hear your opinion, but I don't necessarily love AI designing sneakers and designing things that are meant to be creative. Yeah, like I don't like AI art. I just don't think it's cool. Like something like AI art is it's cool and fun to play around with, but I don't necessarily love actually replacing the creativity of humans with AI, just because I don't think that's gonna go over well. Like I don't think AI is gonna be able to design as creatively interesting things as a human would, because a lot of the design is just taking elements of existence and elements of like human living and putting them into shoes. Like we see it all the time where it's like even like the Jordan 5 has like the shark fins, or the Air Max 96s that I have are like ocean inspired. Like all this stuff is like a very human experience, and then taking elements from the human experience and putting them into a design. But I don't know. I don't love AI designing stuff personally.
yeah, it's kind of like, you're in college and you have like a paper that's due tomorrow, and you're like, maybe we could just, throw a prompt into ChatGPT and write a paper for me. It's like, it seems like they kind of just threw this together. I don't know. If they could have, I'm sure they would have had 6 actually designed sneakers for Wembanyama and all these other people. So it makes you think, I guess maybe they're just really up against the clock. They wanted to show something off cool for the Olympics. Obviously, they did talk about and showcase like real sneakers, so they did do that. But would it have been much cooler to see an actual Victor Wembanyama shoe? Yeah. Maybe wait a little bit longer. You could show an actual Caitlin Clark shoe. Obviously, that probably wouldn't be ready for the Olympics, but like that would have been cool to show a concept of. That's something that I would have felt like okay with if it was just a concept, because obviously like that's happening right now, and it's probably that wouldn't be ready for the Olympics, but
it would be huge news just because the WNBA draft just happened, and she's just such a huge name right now.
Why not do something like that?
Interest. Yeah, I agree.
So I don't know. Like Victor Wembanyama is in the NBA. He's gonna get a shoe. It seems like for sure.
Yeah.
And the shoe itself, like it looked cool, but at the same time, it's like it's not real. And I want to see something real. Show me something real, Nike. I want to see that tangible, because
I want to see stuff that makes sense for like people to wear.
But it's cool to see the concepts. AI, do we really need that? No, I agree with Raj. Just let the people do it. There's plenty of talented people, and obviously they're not taking away jobs from people yet. But like, even just like playing with that idea, it's like, oh, it'd be crazy if AI designed sneakers, wouldn't it? It'd be like, oh, let's just show a few of those, and like, where does that stop? Like, when can we be like, okay, we don't need this? But whatever. There was cool stuff. That's all I had, but in general, there's cool things I'm excited for. Pegasus Premium and the Alpha Fly 3 being the main 2 I'm excited for. Raj sounds like he's the most excited
DN and the breakdancing. The breakdancing shoe, I just really like those. I think they look so sick.
We'll see. Maybe you'll see that on a sneaker bench sometime soon.
Yeah.
If Raj does get those, he does have to know though he's gonna be doing a breakdancing intro for that shoe. So
100.
the odds just went down on Raj getting those, because he knows he's gonna have to spin on his head or something like that.
If anything, the odds went up. If anything, I think we could make that really funny.
But yeah, no, for sure. You're seeing Raj spin like a top or whatever you call it. That's it. That's all I got for the news. Let us know what you guys think. Do you guys like AI designing sneakers, or does that freak you out?
Let us know. Thanks for watching.
Like,
this is the Sneaker
subscribe.
Bench. Check out our Instagram. Have a nice freaking day.
Bye.
Peace.